Mm. Sugar.
Sugar!
Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna try to go Facebook Live. We're gonna broadcast. You ready?
Okay. Beautiful. And then tag me, right? So
Yep,
it'll automatically
we're broadcasting. Hang
got
on.
it all. All right. Okay. You got me, sugar.
Awesome. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just gonna kind of hang tough here and see if we have some more attendees that are gonna join us today. And I'm setting up so we can go Facebook Live with the Zoom at noon. So just gonna ask that you hang on a second.
My light. The lighting is just horrible.
Free Dr. Paula Ruffin from Facebook jail. That's the first page that showed up. So I love it.
Our good friend Terry Bean made that for me last week.
Yeah. I jumped on the bandwagon of that one. So it's good to see that you're back on Facebook. So I will say that. So,
Did you miss me?
I did.
Yeah.
I probably not as much as you missed Facebook, but so hi, this is Katie, everybody from the Hartland Chamber. We're just waiting just about another minute. We're waiting for some more attendees to join us, and I'm getting us on Facebook Live today with our Zoom at noon. And today is May 19th, 2020. The Hartland Chamber does Zooms at noon every Tuesday and Thursday with area leaders, business leaders, and experts in various industries coming to you live to help you with your business during these what I call crazy and uncertain times. So Paula, Dr. Paula Ruffin, New Hudson Chiropractic, is joining us today. She is a entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and a health and wellness expert. Paula, did that pretty much sum up your resume there?
So it sounded pretty good to me. I'll take it.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is how great I am right now. I'm gonna go live anyway. So now we're gonna go live. I'm a little behind the 8 ball, but it's all good. So those of you
we
that
are live. Yeah.
Do you see us on Facebook?
Yes.
So those of you that are
no,
tuned
but
in,
it just popped up live up there.
Okay, awesome. So again, this is Katie Chuba from the Hartland Chamber, and we're here live today at our live Zoom at noon with Dr. Paula Ruffin, who is a business expert, health and wellness expert, public and motivational speaker. I thought I was a networking queen, but what I see on social media, what I know of you, you have put me to shame. So good for you.
No, I learned everything from you.
Oh. So just to give you guys, so if those of you that are watching on the webinar link, if you want, pull up Facebook too, so you can see us on Facebook Live today. So if you have questions for Dr. Paula today, we'll try to watch Facebook Live, or you can type them in the Q&A. So just to give you guys a little bit of history, Dr. Paula and I have known each other for just about 20 years, right?
Since I believe I met you in
2001.
2001.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Summer of 2001.
Wow, yeah. Right before 9/11. So we have gone through 2 big crises together.
Oh my gosh, we have. Yeah, crazy. And children. We've been through children, so we can add that to the crises.
Yeah, and Dr. Yeah, that's probably the biggest crisis. Dr. Paula and I have been friends for many years, and I know a lot of people in business, especially through being with the chamber, and have met a lot of business owners and
Your
entrepreneurs.
collar, dude.
And oh, my collar again. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Always
You got to
tries.
remember that. There you go.
Yeah, I know. What would I
Okay.
do without you?
There you go. I don't know.
And Paul, Paula is one of those business owners that you can lean on. I think that watching you grow your personal business and the connections that you've made and how you understand the business model, and watching you, experience the things that you have experienced over the years. I have a lot of respect for you, watching you grow your
Thank
business.
you.
I know you've put in
Thank you.
blood, sweat, and tears. I know it wasn't easy.
Absolutely.
No one handed it
Absolutely.
to you on a silver platter. You had to go out and work for it.
That's right.
So
That is right.
today we're talking about how to kind of dig yourself out of this funk that we're all experiencing with COVID-19. And it's definitely interesting times. I put on here, how to, when I say here, I mean the little promo piece that we did to market this event. How to dive deep and how to shift out of crisis and panic mode and into wellness for your personal and business health. So Paula, tell us a little bit about yourself and your road to success, and then we'll dive deep into some of these items.
I love those topics, and I love talking about those things, because I was just saying to a patient this morning who asked me, how's business going? Are you getting busier? And I said, you know what, I'm fortunate I didn't have to close my doors. I have built and rebuilt my practice 3 times. What's another one? And it's so truly I'm in a rebuild stage, but I had to adapt. And for me personally, I've always been part of health and wellness, has always been a part of my life. I was an athlete growing up. I studied exercise physiology at University of Michigan. I worked in their obesity clinic. I worked in the Domino's Farms weight loss center, corporate wellness center. I've done incentive programs. I mean, everything I did was down the lane of health and wellness. So becoming a chiropractor was really just the next stepping stone. So I've lived my life this way. So being able to actually have a practice and then helping other people live those same values or establish those same values in their lives has been incredibly fulfilling. When you can take somebody from illness to wellness is just so gratifying. So I like to practice how I live my personal life. My business, I've been in business since, actually 1998, but I've been at this location since 2001 and met you that summer. And I appreciate all the accolades. And I will tell everybody a little secret is that Katie came to work for me for a couple of years. And I have to say it was one of the best collaborations of people that have worked in this environment, and we had so much fun. And what I appreciated about her so much was, this is going to sound wrong, but her lack of sensitivity. And what I mean by that is that having somebody, when you've got a goal and you've got to accomplish things, and we would get into these little arguments of sorts, but and I'd be like, dude, you can't do it that way. And she's like, I know, but dude, I don't, and we'd get into these little arguments and get through it, and boom, and it was done. And we moved on because we knew we had a greater purpose. So I loved that. I loved working with you from that perspective, was because both of us had a goal in mind. We didn't want any noise getting in the way. And we just what do we need to do to get it done? So
thank you,
that's
Paula.
kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, and just to talk about that a little bit, I think, we work with all kinds of different kinds of people in our life and during our career, right? And working with you, I think when you say lack of sensitivity, it's almost like we were like sisters. I mean, I call you sister, right? Yeah. But we're sisters. Right. It's almost like I was working with a family member, right? Like, listen, I love you unconditionally. Right. But I'm going to, and we're both strong personalities. But we both knew what the goal was, and we had to figure out how to get there. And that's, I think that's how I really enjoyed working with you, because we were all about the end goal and the success component, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel the same way about you. Thank you for the accolade.
Thank you. Mwah. Yeah. And I think that's what's been great about connecting with you also through this time, is it because I know you've got great ideas, you have great connections, you have a greater goal in mind with running the chamber. I have full faith in your chamber members that they are in the best hands they could ever
thank you,
possibly
Paula.
be in.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So people need to be jumping on board with just to connect with you as a human being.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's very kind. And, you know, here at the chamber, we're doing these Zooms at noon, as you know, and I've had many discussion with many business members. You know, we're really trying to be, I don't want to sound like, you know, boisterous or anything, but a community superhero. Like, we want to be the ultimate resource for our business members. We're trying hard to bring industry experts in with tips and tricks, and creating a back to business toolkit and a plan for you to adapt to your business, because we know nobody has gone through this, and we need to share resources to help each other, because at the end of the day, it's all going to be, hopefully at the end of this, you know, it's going to be a good thing, and there's going to be that payback portion. You talked a lot about how fulfilling it is for when you help someone individually go from, you know, the ill part to the well part, feeling wellness. And I'm not talking about just the physical, right? A lot of it is emotional, mental, that you deal with. And I've watched you shift over the years from going from helping individuals and patients in your practice to wellness and helping other businesses. So tell me about, share with everybody that's listening your journey, how you had the light bulb, like, hey, I know what I'm doing is good and I'm watching my business grow, and how you shifted into getting with your networking groups, helping other businesses, and then we'll get a little deeper into that too. So.
Perfect. So in 1998, before I became licensed as a chiropractor, I went to a training to become an ergonomist. So I actually went to a corporate wellness training, 21 years ago. So that was one of the best dollars I've ever spent, several $1,000s I've ever spent, we'll just say that. But what that did was it launched me into the corporate wellness. I always loved corporate wellness, loved working with groups and companies. And so then coming into practice, what it did was it allowed me, now I have the avenue. Who's your HR person? Who do we need to connect with? Let me come into your company. So I started long ago doing lunch and learns, and I would call up the library and, you know, hey, are you looking for speakers? Let's set up a series where we could get groups of people in and train people on larger scales. Then started getting into companies and doing more back safety and sitting safe trainings, and then of course, you know, more lunch and learns, anything we could do to get into these companies and speak to them as groups and be able to help, again, just cast a wider net on that health scale. And I love that. You're going to find this hard to believe. I love being in front of people. So, but that's been a huge part of my practice. So I have these like two really cool spaces that I can work within. Well, you know, flash forward, here we are to COVID-19. And I've always, you know, as much as I want to be more involved with companies and organizations, I had thought, last year even, I did a professional speakers training, and how do I create more of a virtual platform? And what COVID-19 has done is it forced me to stop, I guess, making excuses or dragging my feet and make that happen. So the necessity of the pivot finally happened. Before, it was a desire, and I don't think I had a timeline on it. I was just going to let it evolve as it evolved. Well, now it has a timeline. It has a necessity. So now I'm working on more virtual education, more virtual reach
Well,
out. So
we have to right now, right? I mean, this is the platform, right?
absolutely. But Katie, I know so many people and so many businesses that are sitting and waiting. You cannot sit on your hands right now. And that's, as a business, just have to tell you, you've got to get up and you have to move. And it has to be in a completely different direction. And I had a conversation with, oh my gosh, her name's Charisse. I just met her through the Huron Valley Chamber a couple weeks ago. Super cool. She owns a company called Bye Bye Pain, which is laser pain. And she grew this thing from like 0 to 60. She did, incredible things in a short amount of time, but she can't work right now. Her business is shut down. And she's like, well, I don't really know what I would have to offer. I'm like, you have business to offer. Like, people want to know how you did that. This is the critical piece right now, is sharing what we do. And I'm rebuilding 4 times. This is my 4th rebuild stage. When this happened and I did not shut down, I kept the doors open, which sometimes doesn't matter if people are afraid to come out of their houses. But I was seeing 8 to 10 people a day, not enough to sustain or thrive, but I kept the doors open. More people are starting to come out, business is starting to come back. But, in order to really thrive as a business, I've got to continue to pour into that, build, rebuild, call people, get on the phone, send emails, reach out virtually. What are all of the different things that you can do as a business person, whether your doors are open or closed? You have to stay connected with your people and get other people to notice you, so that you then, like you said, you want to be the community superhero. Well, I've always been Wonder Woman, so here we are, right? And
Yep.
and we've got to lead. It's like, to me, this is a rally, right? So I'm trying to rally every business around me, every individual, every company I can get my hands on. Let's freaking rally and get through this thing. And be standing, like, have a running start.
This is your advice. I mean, this is the advice that I watch you give. You rally your peeps, right? So let's talk about that rally component. When you said survive, I always think right now, survive, revive, thrive. Those are the 3 words that are, and I've shared this with you, that are going through my brain. There are companies out there that are surviving. What does the surviving look like? What does the revive look like? And what does the thrive look like, right? So to me, the companies that, like what you're doing, you're rallying, you're reviving. Let's talk about what that means specifically, reviving.
Well, reviving is like just that. You got to bring it back to life. We've got to bring it back to life.
But how?
We cannot,
like, give me some
if
examples.
It died.
Give me some examples.
Okay.
Like how?
So,
like we were talking
so
about
that is
cash flow. Remember, we were talking about that a little bit.
Right. So becoming more savvy with how you do business. So like what Katie's saying, cash flow. Are there certain things that you can do, maybe pre-sales on, if you're a membership type of an organization, if you have a massage therapy, can you sell packages now to get you some cash flow? I've got phone calls I need to make to some other businesses, the flower shops, the bakery, where I want to go in and buy up some inventory and then have people come here and, hey, let's support these other businesses. Come in and let's buy some things to support these businesses that aren't surviving. They've got to produce somehow. So it's going to take the collaboration of all of the businesses to reach out and help each other. So that revive part is not just for me. It's not just me doing different unique things, reaching out, doing the social media to get people in my doors. I've got to reach out and come up with savvy ideas for other businesses around, and how can I help them? Because then that puts you on top of mind. This is, and this has always been my mindset, but I've got to emerge the leader in all of this. And that, I don't know if that sounds arrogant to people, but hey, if you're not reaching out, I'm going to reach out to you. And I need you to be here at the end of it all. So, So what are the ideas? What are the things we do to thrive? You've got to reach out to people, be preeminent, do things that no one else is doing. Make yourself known within your community. I don't know, give me a business and let's come up with an idea.
Let's talk about your business. So what are because I think some of the things that you're doing, people could model after. So tell me specifically what you're doing, like, your Facebook pages. I mean, can you share like statistics with that? Like the number of views, and I know you're doing these Facebook Lives, like all of that. I think sharing how successful those are with others may encourage them to do that as well.
Yeah, so that's a great subject. So let's talk about social media for a second. I've talked to many people and they're like, social media is not really my thing. I know I want to get on it. Well, do you want to be on social media now or in 6 months after the opportunity to really shine has hit you? So yes, I'm on Facebook. And little story, I got put in Facebook jail for trying to advertise an event, an interview with the director of the Hartland Chamber, Miss Katie Chuba. And Facebook didn't like that and they shut me down for a week. Now, here's the thing. I had all my eggs in the Facebook basket. Again, things that kick you in the ass and tell you to move in a different direction. So I got momentum on Facebook. I've got 2,000 people on my personal page and 1,500 on my business page. I have followers. So if you are somebody who's on Facebook, you've got to get over to the other platforms, because if you get shut down, you still need to have momentum going forward. So what does that look like? Get on, post regularly. If you can post once a day on several different platforms, or twice a day, let's say I would decide I want to post daily on Facebook, Instagram, and I don't know, LinkedIn. Don't post the same thing on all 3 sites. You got to post something different, because if I'm following you on all 3 sites, it doesn't engage me. So you do have to come up with 3 different types of content. And LinkedIn is a much different audience than Facebook or Instagram. So you can use a similar topic, you just need to shift it for the audience. So that's the first thing, is just start being consistent. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to get on, daily, weekly. I don't know, if you're afraid, just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it, hit the button.
Yeah, I will tell you.
Video content gets a lot of eyes.
So social media tips, and now that we're talking about social media, put it in your calendar. If you put it in your calendar, Marketing Monday or Fantastic Friday or whatever you want to call it, that's your marketing day. Or maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday at X time. This is when I'm going to do it doesn't take long. If you schedule the time, you're more apt to do the time. That doesn't sound good, like Facebook jail.
Right.
And the best, when the best time to do a video is right now.
Right.
Don't make excuses.
Yes.
The best time to do a video, if you're thinking about doing a video, that is the best time to do the video. Just do it.
Now. Hit
the button.
Yep. So I had set a goal. It's scary, Katie. It is. And like, even for somebody like you or me, like, I was a little intimidated to get on and really start to do more videos and put out more content, thinking, there's other people who know more than me. There's experts out there. What do I know? Right? It's that voice inside your head. So I think just from that perspective, people are not stepping out because they think somebody's smarter than them. They're just afraid. And I'm here to tell you that at the end of the day, people want connection. All you have to do is reach out and connect. That's it. So don't feel like you're less than. Don't feel like you can't do it because somebody else knows more. Just get out and connect. And that's the way to start. Then make sure you're doing something consistent. Make sure you're hitting all the platforms. So when Facebook puts you in jail for a week, you have other places to go. And I set a goal my goal was 3 Facebook Live interviews a week. I started there, meaning I was going to interview somebody else, right? That felt a little scary to me. I got a little pit in my stomach. I was like, ooh, can I live up to that? Well, now I've been doing that consistently for about 4 weeks, and now I'm ready to add another one. So now I'm going to do 4 a week, which I just decided in this moment. So, okay, you guys are holding me to that, right? But so you got to start, it's got to start with your mindset. That's the biggest thing. And then get consistent on social media, hit the other social media sites. If you are somebody who's listening to this and you want a spotlight on your business, and if you're afraid to get on social media, but you want to spotlight your business, just call me and let's put you on, and I will walk you right through a really simple interview. You will love it. You will love talking about your business to the world, I promise you. So let's help you do that.
Yeah, and I know you had mentioned that before, and that's what these are too, is that, we want to highlight businesses too, and we want to share information, but I know that's what you're doing. So if you are listening, we're going to share Paula's contact information. So get your pen handy, and she will just have conversation with you and get you in front of, I would say, a couple of thousand people that follow you, right? Yeah. So it's free
and you asked me about views.
Yes.
It is. I mean, really. Yeah. So you asked me about views. So whenever I do a video, now just organically, when I do a video now, I get a few hundred eyeballs. If I throw a little bit of money at it and boost it, I'll get a couple, 3,000 views on it. And I mean, when I talk about boosting a video, I'm talking about like $1 a day, like not a whole lot of money. It doesn't require, and right now, Facebook advertising is cheap. So, but I won't be advertising on Facebook anymore because they put me in jail the last time I did. So anyway, but I'll go to other platforms, right? So I did a Facebook Live the other day, and then I posted some of my YouTube videos on LinkedIn. I already have several hundred views on there, and I'm not even that active on LinkedIn. So it's just getting the information and starting the consistency of putting it on the other sites.
So Paula, I have a question for you. There's a question that came in. Dale Lockwood with Hickory Barbecue just asked a question, who do you boost to? So what demographic, or friends and their friends, or to a specific group? Like who's your market?
Dale, are you boosting out from your business page or your personal page?
Well, you know what? Let's allow Dale to talk. Dale, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Dale. How are you?
Hi. Good.
So Dale,
Hi, Dale.
And Paula, I
Hi.
don't know if you've ever met. Maybe you have, maybe you
I
haven't.
don't think so.
Maybe at the Polo Classic.
You were both at the Polo event. He was serving food. So, but Dale, go ahead and join us for a second. Let's talk about.
I've boosted for our business, quite a bit, and I always struggle with who should I boost to? Friends and their friends. It seems like it asks for, or sometimes I've tried to hit certain ages, like if we're going to go to a brewery, I'll put that as something that they would have needed to talk about. But I'm just interested in maybe if you could expound more when you say you boost. What do you look for when you are boosting something?
So I have a set demographic. So I created the demographic, and I could go in and tell you, but I think my particular demographic is men and women between the ages of like 29 and 55, and then they like fitness and yoga. They listen to, I don't know, Elton John. You could set it whatever you want. Like, think about who your ideal customer is. And the interesting thing about ideal customer is, I actually hate that term, ideal customer. I like pods of customers. So I have, 3 or 4 different pods of ideal customers. So I try to target to each of those pods of people. Now, understanding the Facebook algorithm, if you think of it, it's like a bullseye. If I define one demographic, it's going to be over here. If I define another demographic, it's going to be over here. So you're not hitting the big target like you want to. So the idea is to find a target that encompasses all of that, and then maybe overlaps as you go. And what I'll do, there's a look up Dennis Yu. He's it's YU. is his last name. And in fact, let me see if I can find his site. He's like Facebook marketing guru, and he explains all of this incredibly, which, you know, what's the, and I'm still learning it all, but you've got to shift and change around your demographics so that the targets overlap, if that makes sense. And without going into too much detail and having to look up that detail at this moment in time when we don't really have time, I'd be happy to share that offline with you too.
Yeah, and
but
just
that's
so,
kind of how you have to play with your demographics. You can't just, and if you're using one for too long, it loses steam over time. Like there's just all, and that's why too, I'm recommending go off to the other platforms and build those out too. So,
and
because
just to be,
Facebook will go away after a while.
yeah, just to be clear, I know you're talking about Facebook ads.
Correct.
And when you go
Yes.
into the ads, it takes you through the steps to advertise and select these demographics, just so everybody knows that's listening.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And you could just do within a 10-mile radius. You don't have to get really defined. The more defined you get, the smaller that target becomes within the big circle though. So keep that in mind. So, you know, you're trying, like I said, you're trying to, and it's, Dale, it's a lot of it is trial and error. So you have to go in, if you go into, there's the business Facebook, where if you go into the business page, I don't know exactly where it is right now, but it'll show you all of your ads, and it'll show you what you boosted and how many views it got, who you boosted it to. So you want that you want to be checking that business admin page. And as you see more eyes, I look to see how many eyes I get on something organically. And then I go, oh, that's gaining traction, boom, and throw $1 a day at it for the next 7 days. And that's Dennis Yu's strategy. $1 a day for 7 days on things that gain traction.
I love this because, I mean, I know we're kind of all over the place and we're having really good, you know, marketing discussion and business health discussion. But man, I tell you, I watch some businesses that use social media. I mean, number one, it's really cost effective if you think about it. Like you said, dollar for dollar. So when we talk about that revive piece, what you're doing right now to get through all of this COVID-19 stuff on the back end is this. We have a lot of people have downtime. In the discussions I have, you know, we're working from home, we're using our time more effectively, efficiently. Take a look at this stuff, right? You know, start making more phone calls.
Now's the time to learn. Yeah, now is the time to learn. And this is, you know, again, this is what I've been doing. I was doing a lot of trial and error, and then, you know, found Dennis Yu and started doing his stuff. And I still, I mean, his rabbit hole is so freaking deep, it goes to the other end of the earth. So, you know, there's only so much that you can do. And that being said too, Katie, you know, I have business coaches. I have several people that I followed. I also had to whittle it down to 1 to 2 groups of people. So I don't follow and take advice from as many people as I used to, because there's a lot of noise out there. So find somebody that you resonate with, find a group, you know, whether you're just following what Katie's giving you, or, you know, you have another business coach. Don't allow too much noise to come into the fold, because it does get confusing. Figure out a path that's comfortable, follow that path, and again, rally. You just got to keep rallying forward.
Sorry, my laptop, my Chrome is acting up, so I had to pull the Facebook up on my cell phone. You know, and we talked a lot about the business health. If you were to give, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here, friend. If you were to give 2 pieces of advice to a small business on the 2 things as far as business health goes, aside from the social media part, what other things really encompass healthy business right now? 2 things. You did
put me on the spot.
Know,
okay, 2 things.
Think about what's
the
working
first thing
for
I'm
you,
going
maybe,
to,
you know,
with that, yeah. So,
you know,
well, the first thing is, yeah, you've got to build relational capital, and that's easy. So again, being a part of the chamber, being a part of other networking groups, build relational capital. That is one of the critical elements that's going to help your business survive, is having key relationships that are going to help you within your community, help you with more referrals, and to spin off of that, your gang of 5. So who's your gang of 5 that relate to your core business? Meaning 5 people who are influencers that can feed back to you, that you can work with and collaborate with, that will bring you back to that ideal customer or ideal customer pod, right? So if my one ideal customer is teen athletes, who's my gang of 5 on that? If my other customer is pregnant women, who's my gang of 5 on that? So you got a gang of 5 influencers that are going to help bring you back to continue to find your core or your ideal client. So Katie's one of my gang of 5. I don't know if she knows that or not, but
Yay.
I lean on her quite a bit. Yeah.
Yay.
So yeah.
You're in my gang too,
It's got to
just so
be,
you know.
right. And we're in the club. So,
Yeah.
So have your gang of 5, build relational capital. Those are all, kind of one thing, but the other thing too is, go back to mindset. If you do not have a good mindset, you're going to have downs. There's going to be downtimes, and your mindset is the only thing that's gonna bring you through. You've got to be able to have your downtimes, go through them, figure it out, but you got to always stay on this side of the glass half full so that you can keep clarity up here to make sure that you get through that successfully. So
thank you.
there's 2.5 for you.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
You talk about you talk about relationship capital. For the chamber, I mean, that kind of goes in hands with partnerships too. I mean, partnerships can go a long way. Like I look at when I got out of college and got into the working world, it was every man for himself. Businesses were constantly competing against each other.
Right.
They didn't want to talk to each other. They didn't want to listen to each other because they knew best. They were fighting over customers, and I didn't think it was really healthy, along with the big shoulder pads and the nylons, which did not go far for me.
I love the big shoulders. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we watch our economy grow. The economy was really, really good prior to COVID-19, right? And so, and I reflect and I look back, and it's a lot of it is due to people are communicating more, they're relationship building, and they're partnering. I mean, the value of a partnership can go a long way. Great example, to chamber members, they were in kind of similar industry. I didn't know their relationship. Come to find out, they partnered on something, and it has helped both their business because one may not offer the other. And so they partnered, and it looks good. So I agree.
Absolutely.
I guess in the end, I agree with you about the relationship capital. It's so important right now. We talk about that and marketing and all of that. So
more important than ever. And I got to tell you, in 20, what did I say? I got licensed in 98 and 21 years of business. I have never been more connected to other businesses that I have in the past probably 2 years from a collaborative effort, right? So in what you're saying, I agree with you 100%, is that back in the day, people were, they're like, oh, I can't tell you what I'm doing to be successful. No, that's my secret. Nobody wanted to share ideas. Nobody cared about anybody else's success. It was all about, if I'm successful, then and you can't be. Well, this is a different time and place. And if I'm successful and you're not, that doesn't do anything for me. I need the economy. I need businesses around me strong. I need people strong. So now that relational capital is more powerful than ever. And we've got to make sure that we are investing in that.
So true. So true. I mean, that goes I watch it with our chamber members. The ones that are building relationships with other businesses helps them to connect them to the community too. And, people want to spend money with, those businesses that are connecting with the community and other businesses. So yeah, for sure. True.
Well, and the point you brought up about two businesses coming together, because even if they're in similar industries, but one has something the other one doesn't, that's brilliant. And that's what we need to do right now, is start putting our businesses together like puzzles. What do you, maybe somebody has distribution. Maybe I have the product that somebody wants, but somebody has distribution and I don't have distribution. So
Yeah.
that's the person I want to work with, right? And here's the other thing, gang, is that, in this world, and right now it's really easy to think, well, shoot, I don't have any money to do anything. Right now, because of those puzzle pieces, someone else has what you need and vice versa. So now's get collaborating, get connecting with people who are complementary to what you're doing. You don't need any money. You can strike some kind of a deal that does not involve money, whether it's time, whether it's labor, but this is a great time to build something that you've wanted to build but couldn't, because let's even just say, over the years, you didn't feel you had the actual financial funding. Well, we're going to start getting really creative going forward here.
Yeah, and I like the way this is all about kind of like you said, being creative and thinking a little bit outside the box. I mean, I've watched you think outside the box with your Facebook pages. Like, I couldn't believe how fast you got a following, and I feel like every time I jump on social media, oh, there's Paula with another video, and you're starting to get. I watched you grow, so
Yeah.
you're a really good example. And I think other businesses should follow you just to kind of see what you're doing and see how many views you're getting. And, it all leads to someone walking through the door and handing you, a check, right, to do business with you. So, so thanks.
Well, and that being said too, Katie, one thing, just going back to the social media piece, is if you don't have a VIP group or a private group for your business, do that right now and set that up. That is your place to safely communicate with your clients, your customers, your patients, whatever it is. Get on there. So when I put my private page together, my Dr. Paula's Living Well page, which you guys can all go and find me there, and you can request access to the Living Well page, where we talk about all things health and wellness, and I do, particular live videos and information in there that I don't do anywhere else. So you get you get me in that group, basically. And so I grew that group to, I don't know, it was like 120 members, like almost overnight. So I'm always looking for more people in there. But the fact that, people came on board like that, that's what you need to do. And then the other piece of that, make sure you put somebody else as admin, because when Facebook shuts you down, you need to be able to tell people that you're in jail. So.
Did you do that?
Just a little advice.
Did you do that?
Speaking from experience. Once I got out of jail, I did. I immediately added two admins. I tried adding you, but are you in my Dr. Paula's Living Well page? I was going to make you admin.
I think you did make me admin.
Did I?
I think you did.
All right. I might have. I don't remember.
Yeah. It's always
but
good.
Yeah.
That's a great piece of advice. I mean, there's a lot of sole proprietors out there. If you're running your own social media,
other admins on.
Put another person on there, because unfortunately with Facebook, it doesn't let you set up business, right? It's a personal account, and then you can lead into the business pages. And
right.
So
and it didn't matter that I was over trying to boost our interview on the business page. It shut. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see any of my groups. I couldn't see the business. I couldn't see personal. So get somebody else on there as admin. Go do that today.
That's a whole nother discussion, talking about Facebook shutting pages down, right? Especially what's going on in the news and politics. Another time, another
you
place.
Have freedom of speech until it goes against what somebody
like I said,
believes.
that's a whole nother discussion. So hey, thanks, Paula. I mean,
requires wine too.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you wanted to share with our listeners about that shift from kind of what to do, or getting into a little bit more business health, if you will?
I think we covered most of it, but just to kind of wrap things up is that don't be afraid. You have to pivot. If you are sitting on your hands right now, get up and get moving. If you don't have ideas, reach out to Katie at the chamber, reach out to me. Let us help you with ideas. We want you succeeding at the end of this. So, and that's a lot of people are like, I don't know where to start. It's also overwhelming. Let us help you. We've got to make sure you're standing at the end of all of this.
So Paula, can you please share your contact information on this video? So, and with our listeners, in case they wanted to reach out to you.
Absolutely. So, on Facebook, New Hudson Chiropractic Wellness Center, Dr. Paula Ruffin, these are 3 different pages, and then Dr. Paula's Living Well group. So those are three different pages you could find me at. On YouTube, Dr. Paula Ruffin, on LinkedIn, Dr. Paula Ruffin, and on Twitter at ChiroDog, as well as Instagram at ChiroDog. Email is doc@drruffin.com. I think that.
So it's DOC Dr.
drruffin.com.
Perfect. Yep. And how about a phone number?
But go to the Living Well page. Let's get that built and grown, and I can really help you guys out with some private information there. Phone number 248-486-5684 is the office.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. For those who are listening today, you guys have questions for Dr. Ruffin? I think we'll just wrap up. I mean, this was great. Really,
please reach out. I would love to hear if you have any more questions. I'm happy to help.
And I always know you're looking for businesses to interview too. So anyone that's listening that wants to do this with her on her pages, it's free advertising. So set up a time to talk and let me know when that is. And
if you're wondering, how much advertising, it's like I said, it's 3,000 viewers on Facebook. It's 5,000 on LinkedIn. We'll get some eyes on your business for sure. I got like 19 on YouTube. I haven't put anything into YouTube. So go like my YouTube page, please. Yeah, let's get that built up.
Subscribe. It's funny that you say that, because here at the chamber, and maybe some other people are doing this too, but we have given our YouTube channel some love. So we'll post this video on YouTube as well. So if you can subscribe to our Zooms at Noons are up there, our Back to Business webinars, any webinars or videos that we're doing, we're going to give YouTube some love. And we also created a business page on LinkedIn, which we didn't have before. I had a personal page on LinkedIn, so we created a Hartland Area Chamber of Commerce LinkedIn. So you can follow that as well.
That got several hundred views, by the way, organically when I interviewed you, and I posted that onto LinkedIn and tagged the chamber. So that went like gangbusters. So
it's for minimal effort, right? So the power of social media. So again,
to sit here and talk.
Yeah, I know you're working today, and I know you did not schedule to see any of your patients to kindly come on this Zoom at noon with me. So thank you so much for your time. You're the best. So I appreciate
Absolutely. That. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Always so fun.
And thank you everyone for listening. We are going to have a Zoom at noon next Tuesday, not this Thursday because of the vacation weekend, the Memorial, I shouldn't say that. Not everyone's going on vacation, just because of Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure you can figure it out. Our next Zoom at noon is next Tuesday, and we're going to have 2 actually partners I talked about, Bulldog IT Services and UTech, talking about technology and how to use it and how to use it well in your business. So hopefully you can join us then. And then on the 25th, I'm on the wrong calendar. Sorry. You know what? I have to go on my phone because my Chrome is spinning right now. I need technology assistance. But next, what's the date next Tuesday, Paula? Help me out here. Let me see.
Sue,
the 26th.
The date next Tuesday.
26th. We're going to have Bulldog IT and UTech to help implement your technology strategy to give you a competitive edge. And then this morning, I just scheduled a Zoom at noon on Thursday, the 28th with Michigan Retailers Association. So I have the Vice President of Marketing and Communications joining me to talk about the impact retail as they start to open up. So that'll be a good one as well. So hope you register.
Beautiful. Love that.
I'll get that on our website very, very soon. Thank you again, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Dr. Ruffin. And with that,
Thank you for having me. It was
yeah,
awesome.
survive, revive, and thrive, everybody. Have a great day.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.